Coach, just here, finally getting to see Sharp out there against somebody else besides your guys. Just what kind of presence does he bring under the basket?
Yeah, Sharp's a good player. The biggest thing for us in recruiting when we got to know him and evaluating him and all is I don't think his height defines him either. Obviously, we all see the shot blocks and the things that his length allows him to do, but there's so many plays beyond those. Tonight, thought he offensive rebounded well. He moves the ball well. So, I'm really looking forward to coaching him. He's a great person, too. His personality kind of bleeds into our locker room. So he's a guy I have a lot of confidence in.
It's like everyone played except for two. One of those was Cameron Barnes. Is that injury related or?
Say it again.
With Cameron Barnes just not playing, is that injury related? Or?
No, I think the plan as of right now, things could change, but Cam's going to be a special player down the line. It looks like red shirt might be his possibility this year.
Rashad got in there quickly. Just physically, does he strike you as a guy that is ready for this? It seems.
I don't know about ready, but certainly has a chance to play as a freshman. That was the first thing with him, just his physicality, allows him to possibly play a role early in his career. And he earned the right with his summer and his preseason and official practices to this point to get in the game early tonight, so that was by design. I thought he did some good things, but there's obviously some things to clean up. We need him to rebound better. He's a physical guy. He needs to understand how to block out at this level. But good thing about Rashad is he wants to be coached. He takes the information, so this will be a great learning curve for him tomorrow to get in the film room and watch some of this stuff.
Coach, the playing addition without playing, what's that bring to the program?
Yeah, the question was about Alan Flanagan, and I'm just glad he's on our team. Al's got a chance to have a special senior year in college basketball, take advantage of this fifth kind of COVID year that still exists, and we need him to do so many things. I thought tonight, like every game Al's ever played, the positives are there, but we're going to need him to play really, really well on both ends of the floor. I thought his effort was fine tonight, but execution, like everybody on our team's got to get a lot better.
Jalen Murray got to start tonight. Just what about him? Why did you want him in that first group?
Well, when he kept throwing the ball to the other team, I didn't want him in that first group. So Juju's got to understand ball security. So I was disappointed kind of in his performance tonight in terms of taking care of the ball. But tonight's just one step in the process. They give us 30 practices. I think tonight counts as a practice, and this was like number 22, I think. And so Juju's had a lot of really good moments. We won't define him on how he played tonight, but obviously he's got to understand taking care of the ball is a premium in his position. That's the number one responsibility for him offensively. And tonight just played too loose. But he's a good player. He's had a really good so far time in Oxford. We just need him to play a lot better than he did tonight.
You guys defensively, 22 practices in.
I think in some ways we're kind of on track, but in other ways we're not. Tonight, the two glaring things before I watched the films, ball screen defense. It's just got to get better, especially when the ball's in the middle of the floor. We seem to be confused, so that's on everybody, not just the players. So, the purpose of these games is to try to expose some things, and tonight, A+ on that because we got exposed on a lot of things that we can get back this week. We had 4 or 5 practices to go before the season starts, but I think our ball screen defense has to improve. And I think our blockout. We should be a good rebounding team. But just too many times we don't get a body on somebody. So those two things I think have to improve. I think tonight we showed some good things. Our transition defense improved from our closed-door scrimmage to tonight. Not perfect at all, but there was some improvement there. But I think that's the great thing about these exhibition games and scrimmages. It just exposes things, and we know what to work on next practice.
Like tallying it up, it was like double-digit rebounds for TJ Caldwell. I know you were high on him all throughout this offseason and then talking about kind of the role that he's expected to play in year 2. Is it safe to say that's kind of what partly what entailed?
Yeah, I think the thing with TJ is consistency. As a freshman, he was one of those handful of guys around the country that could play good every 3 games or so. And sophomore year, so now's the time. Is he going to take the next step? It's all about consistency. And tonight's game was a great example of that. At times, one of the best players on the floor. At other times, he looked like he was a freshman. And so I think with him, it's just consistency, doing the right thing time after time, also known as discipline. But we have very high expectations for him. I believe he should be one of the best defenders in the SEC with his athleticism and kind of physical toughness. And on offense, he's a talented guy. So I think like with most of our players tonight, some positives with TJ, but his next step is consistency.
Robert, I think he was one of the first or one of the first off the bench. Is that a role you can envision him being, or is that just something you opted for tonight?
Yeah, probably still too early for roles in terms of starting lineup. Open competition. We'll see who we start on Monday, and my prediction will be the lineup will change a little bit through the first month or so of the season unless we find those 5 consistent guys. A lot of that will have to depend on the 2 guys that are waiting on the answer whether they're going to play this year or not. I'd say this about Rob, though. He earned the right to get in the game this early. Rob just plays really hard, and at the end of the day, there's nothing more important than that. He's an effort guy. You know what you get with Rob. You know, you trust that he's going to bring the effort. And I think as he continues to become a better player through player development and minutes in games, I think he could be a really good player one day. But he got in the game that early tonight based on what he's done since we got to Oxford, and that's play really hard. He's a competitive guy. There's always a place for a guy like that on a team.
Chris, were you happy with the quality of shot that you got from 3 tonight?
Yeah, this basket was closed up on us, right? So it's never a thing we talk about. We talk about shot selection a lot more than shot making. If you're going to be a championship team, you got to figure out a way to win a game on a night where the basket's big for you or the basket's closed up a little bit. So from where I was sitting, we got a lot of good shots by the right shooter. A couple of them were forced late with some of our younger guys. That's to be expected. I know from where I was sitting before I watched the tape, I thought we got a lot of open looks tonight. What you got to do there is you got to offensive rebound the ball better. And I think, we were only plus 3 or 4 at halftime. I think we only end the game plus 9 or 10. That's not good enough. No disrespect to our opponent. We wish them the best of luck this season, but Ole Miss should out-rebound the opponent tonight. And so 3-point shooting, some nights it's there, sometimes it's not, but your offensive rebound has to be there on the nights the basket's small for you.
More questions for Coach? All right. Thanks,
If you guys could help us in all your ways, with the season, I appreciate everybody kind of getting the news out there. But obviously the season starts on Monday, 7 o'clock tip, and just encouraging everybody to come. I think there's a few tickets left. Call the box office. Obviously with parking and things like that, we encourage the fans to get here early, take advantage of the parking situations. But we really could use y'all's help just kind of spreading the word. This 4-game homestand to start the season. 3 7 o'clock tips here in the pavilion. That 4th game is the Tad Pad throwback game at 8 o'clock. So appreciate you guys promoting this game tonight and everything you've been doing for us. So this is a big week for us. Hopefully we can get the news out and start the season with a great crowd on Monday night. Thank you.